never updated the collision. So like 2 days ago, I was testing the game, and like one of the skulls flew through the wall, and I was like, "Oh crap, man! It flew through the wall. What happened?" And then I realized it was a hole there, and I fell out of the level. And luckily, there's this like large piece of dirt here, and you could walk around on this technically. So I was walking around on this. And I was like, "Oh, gotta fix it." And like the people in the stream, I forget who it was, like Nat and everybody. They were saying like, oh, I should keep it as an Easter egg that you can walk through the wall there, but I took it out for now. All right. So let's test this. I think I can do this while this is running. See if it stops it. I don't know if it's going to cause problems while I'm baking. It did. I canceled it. Damn it. Let's just cheat player. Inventory slots. Give myself ingots, 99. Wood, 99. Get rid of that. That's better. Okay. I might be able to actually go back to my VODs and see what layer 12 is. Now that I think about it. Excuse me. Now that I think about it. Is this playing awake? It is. Looping, playing awake. All right, let's rebake. Let's actually do the rebaking of the lighting. Let's clear this out. Okay, and then let's go to global light. Let's put this at 1.1. I want it a little brighter, not too bright. Lighting settings. Okay. Bake. Now, if I go into how to play, let's open this. Okay. We can get rid of this basically. And then header text becomes how to play. Save. As soon as I upload this, as soon as I finish these screens and upload it, I'll be starting over from scratch. And again, it's not really from scratch. It's just that I clearly did something bad to this project. um, because of the error that I was getting before. And then I wiped out the library, I wiped out all the settings, and now I'm getting these warnings. They're warnings, but they're annoying. And if I can figure out how to fix it, I'll stay in the project. But I think it might be better anyway to just open up a new project and then not like I'm not going to reuse anything. I'm probably going to copy most of the stuff over, but it's probably a good idea to start fresh since it's going to be a standalone product. You're on your fifth project. Well, what are you working on? What type of projects are you working on? Curious to hear. This one. Now this one, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of scroll text settings. Oh, and then we can actually remove that reference. Cancel. Let's create a new CSS UI overlays settings. Call this settings. And then I'm going to duplicate this. Move that into here. Rename this to settings. And then we can remove that. And then override that. And settings. And okay. I've been watching Unity devs for a while, including Irish John Games. I've got Unity 6, many of the Cinti packs, sub add-ins like Master Audio, Hot Reload. Now it's time to get serious and actually build something. Unknown what rat I'm going. Strategy, quest, educational, math. I don't know. My recommendation, and you're probably going to hear this a lot from folks, is to actually just start with a very small project. Start simple, build Pong, build Pac-Man, build Space Invaders, whatever. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Don't even stress. Just work. And because the hardest part I find is not starting a project. It's like getting over this like middle hump that you have where like you've done all the fun kind of setup stuff, but now you're running into challenges. And it's like getting over those challenges and then finishing something. Sometimes it's like you get it like here with me, I've gotten over the challenges. I started with my concept, I got over the hurdles, all my gameplay is done, and now it's literally just these last couple of things. And it's taking, you know, a long time to do like a setting screen and how to play. Um screens because they're boring and they're not cool and it's not gameplay and it's not fun. But it's like you got it. I want them in the game, and they're trying to make the game look nicer. I spent like all 2 days yesterday and today, trying to sort out lighting, and I still think it looks like garbage. Um, this probably will look better now. Um, so again, I think starting small is good. I recommend it. Um, Everyone likes to jump into their dream game project, and I was one of them. I'm telling you, I fell into the same traps that everyone else does. Um, but I think that when I actually started to finish games and like have a product that I can show somebody, I could put in front of somebody, they could play it, it felt so good. It felt like I had accomplished something like really cool. Um, so that's my recommendation, especially if you're just starting out. Even if you have like tons of experience too, like um, coding, for example, like I do. Like I'm a software engineer by day, so I have experience writing code, but building games is something different. Like you have to just accept that it's different. It's going to challenge you in ways that you never thought. So right. Yeah. One thing you can try to do if you want to like work towards something is take a mechanic like dialogue, right? And just make a game about dialogue. Just make a game where you walk up to people and you talk to them, and that's it. That don't add any other wild mechanics. Just figure out how you want to do dialogue. Um, since you brought it up, I'm using this in Unity. It's built by this Inkle Studios is a indie studio that made these games: The Highland Song, Forever Labyrinth, Overboard, Heaven's Vault. Right? They have this free thing called Ink, and it has it's free to use, and it has an integration with Unity. So it has an integration with Unity. I use it in this game. That's like when I talk to the guy. That is what I'm using. Um, Basically, it uses this little app. So you have this app, and this is where you write the dialogue. So I'm going to open Grime here. So this is Grime's dialogue, the little goblin. And it's got a syntax, and it's like these are called knots. This is basically a set of dialogue. And I can set variables, which then I can apply logic on where I want to go, which is really nice because I can have his entire dialogue in here. Like the Ghost game. Yeah. I want to fix that game. That game needs some fixing. Um, so see, like basically the game starts and on quest and quest complete are false. And then I say, okay, if the quest is complete, go to quest complete. Otherwise, so we're going to start quest. So when you first talk to him, this is the dialogue that plays out. And you can see it over here. Like I can actually play this. Like I can rewind this and say, okay, he talks. These things are called tags. This is what I use to like affect things in my game. Like for example, who is talking, what animation I want him to play while he talks. Then he says, "Can you fix it up? Make it better?" He's playing another animation. Then I can say yes or no. These are options that the player can pick. So I say yes. Then that this is me talking now. Yes, of course. Then it's like this, and say end story. And if you notice in here, it says quest give, and I have like a tag. So I pass that to the game, and now the game knows to turn that quest on. Say, okay, that you've picked up this quest. So I found it to be a super easy system to use. I was able to get this up and running in a day, and it's really not that difficult. I don't mind showing you because I think it. Am I still compiling lighting? Yes, I am. I want to say off and on because I haven't been really consistent. I'm a hobbyist. I don't have any commercial games. I don't work for a game studio. I work in healthcare doing software development. But off and on, I would say about 13 years now. I started back with Unity before it went to 2000. It was Unity 4, I think. Unity 4 or 5. And it took me a while to get to where I am now, like how comfortable I am with it. So it takes time, but don't give up. Know that there will be days that you will bang your head against the keyboard and be like, what am I doing? And those will be the worst days. But you will get past it because it's just experience. Thomas Edison said, it took him 100 tries to get a light bulb or something, and he never said he didn't fail 99 times. He learned 99 ways not to make a light bulb. Basically the same idea. I work at night. Pretty much I work now on games. That's the time I have. My kids are asleep. My wife goes to bed early, so I work on games, and I decided to stream because it's boring to sit in my office by myself and code. Oh, let me get my music back on. Let's see. I've done this before on stream, but if you get stuck, by the way, feel free to come by and ask questions. In fact, on Fridays, I host office hours. I do work on my game on Friday, but I make sure the stream's dedicated to answering questions. So if you have coding questions, Unity specific questions, game dev questions, I do my best to answer chat and work on stuff. So like somebody might come in and say, I'm stuck on my inventory system. I don't know how to do an inventory system. And I we'll talk through it. Just know, and I have my little disclaimer that I'm not an expert, but I like having the conversation. I like learning too. Sometimes I learn stuff as well as we research and we talk and we have conversations and say like, how would we do this? Let's think about it. So feel free to come by. Of course, you can always ask questions at any time, but Fridays I kind of focus on chat more than I do. I like the idea of fostering knowledge share. All right, let's see here. So I did this. Go all the way back. Yes. The first asset I ever bought on the asset store was this little female warrior, and it was purchased on September 3rd, 2012. That was the first asset I ever bought on the asset store. Was this asset, which I can still pull in, I think. But this asset is not available on the asset store anymore. Sadly. I don't think this person is. Oh no, the person still makes stuff. And they've come a long way. Like, wow, like look at this stuff. Oh, I have some of their stuff. They've come a long way since that asset. Like, look at these characters. These are like so much different than the. I thought this character looked so cool. I have to go to hidden because it's no longer. Yeah. Can you make these bigger? I think if I go to full details, it's no longer. But I can download a copy here. So maybe one day I'll build her into a project just because so it sounds like you want to make an RPG of sorts, because you mentioned dialogue, inventory, that kind of stuff. Yep. I'd rather be baking cookies. But we gotta bake them lights. Honestly, I wasn't even gonna bother, but when I exported the game at for WebGL, there were so many artifacts that I was just like, this looks ugly. I gotta fix it. Did you ever play Warlords from 1990? Maybe something like that. Warlords. I don't think I played Warlords. Warlords. Okay. So like this. Fantasy Empire strategy game.
Warlords 1.
Oh wow, okay. It's like old school. I love old classic games like this. There was this old game that oh man, that I've been thinking about remaking. I had it on. It was a what's it called? Warpath DOS game, I guess. DOS game. This one, classic PC game. Oh. So I played this game. All right, on the computer. This is from 1994, and the premise is. I'll make it big. The premise is you're the spaceship, right? And it's randomly generates this universe, right? You can see by the seed here. And there are in this game looks like there are three other NPC enemies, right? And the idea is you go to these planets and you have to you scan them, and then you can harvest resources. You can colonize them. You could then, the resources that you like suck out of the planets, you can then go back to your colonized planets and sell them for resources, and then you can buy weapons. Like all this stuff down here is like lasers and missiles and bombs and nukes and all sorts of stuff. And the goal is to like, be the best empire. I used to play this game for like hours. I don't know what was addicting about it, but you can even see like down here on the bottom, you can see this is your shield. I think the charge was your laser beam, so as you shot, like it would spend charges. This is how many colonists you had. This is how many lives you had. This was your money, how fast you were traveling. Cargo is like when this would fill up, you wouldn't be able to like pull any more resources out of the planet. You'd have to go sell, and you could buy like extra cargo crates. So see, he goes to the planet, and then I don't know what the radio was. I don't remember what that was. I think maybe you could chat. So see, like you go here, and then you click this planet to harvest, and then you go back to fill up your cargo, and then you would sell, right? And you sell and get money, and you basically keep doing that, and then you can buy stuff. I've been like wanting to remake this game for some reason. I don't know why, but I loved it as a kid. Another game I used to play in strategy was the old Dune. The old Dune strategy game, classic. Was it? This is 2000. Classic. This one. Dune 2. Yes. From Westwood. This was from, does it say when? Dune 2? What is this from? This is from 92. I love this game. So you'd have to like basically like old Command and Conquer before it was Command and Conquer, because it's Westwood. But you have to like build your base. You have to expand it. You have to build like cement things on the ground so you can build buildings on top. Then you have to build units to defend your base. They were vehicles. These were harvesters. They would go here, and they would, they go to the spice, and they would mine the spice, and then they would dump it up, and that's how you get money. It's all cool stuff like that. I don't know, looking at Warlords made me think of like old classic games like this. And then, I finished building. Hold on, now that that's done building, let me do the light probes. So we have to bake those. It shouldn't be too long because I made the